Hello, beloved folks, and welcome to another week of Sacred Reading. I'm James Henry, and I'll be guiding our time together. Hopefully, you will uh, get an opportunity to hear and respond in your own way to what you hear in the text we're about to read. Sacred Reading, or Lectio Divina, the Latin, uh, is really reading a text not like Bible study reading, when you read it and pick it apart and try to figure out what the original word meant and that kind of thing. Sometimes I guess Lectio Divina works like that. But for the most part, Lectio Divina is an approach to scripture that says, in some way, whether it's literally, allegorically, through an image, a picture, a word, a phrase that arises in you, Spirit may speak something that you need to hear today, a word of encouragement, a calling out, maybe an invitation to reappraise something in your life, to stay the path. It all depends. Each time can be different, and part of it is what you bring to the text, what you're open to receive, is likely to be what you will hear echoed back to you. And so it is, we open our hearts, we open our ears, and we listen with an intention, a belief, a hope that God will speak into our lives, knowing that God will. I believe God will speak into my life today when we do sacred reading together. We have, for the last couple of weeks, just been doing one verse at a time, and today we'll follow suit. We are looking at the first letter of John. We're in chapter 3, and today we're just going to look at verse 3. It's part of a larger piece, and if you want to read it as a whole, you can. But today we're just going to read out loud this version. If you want to do Lectio on your own, you do the same thing. You find a sacred text that you want to read or feel called to read, and you read it aloud. Not just in your head, read it aloud. You can read it in your head if you want, but you're going to get more out of it if you activate your lungs and your vocal cords, the vibrations inside your head as you hear the words echo and in your ears. It allows you to see and speak the words and to process them in a fuller way. So I invite you now, settle in, catch your breath, be present, listen for a word from the Lord. All who through him have this hope will keep themselves pure in the same way he is pure. The word for me that rose in this text was the word pure. For the longest time, every time I saw pure in scripture, I thought that it was about some kind of moral purity. And maybe, I suppose, in certain instances. But when we purify something, we take it down to a single element, sort of a singleness of mind. And I think the kind of purity that the chosen one, of which First John speaks, is talking about is a singularity of intention, a calling out to me to be pure, not to be divided, not to be dualistic, good, bad, all these things that I spend my time labeling. Like me, not like me, all those pieces. But to remain pure in my intent. This echoes for me Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. And I think the purity of heart that is echoed in that beatitude is the same one here. A singleness of mind and heart in my openness to God's movement in my life. I hear that kind of purity, that kind of focus and oneness being called out in me. Despite my contemplative practice and my daily meditation, I know for a fact I'm not always pure of heart. And I hear Spirit calling me out here. That I'm called to be pure as Christ is pure, as the chosen one is pure. And that purity is that single focus, that single being, that wholeness of being drawn together. So I'm going to ponder and think on that, let that speak into my life today and in the days to come. The idea, more than the idea, the actual intention of being pure, single, whole. I'm always interested if you responded in a different way, and you certainly can respond on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page with a comment if you wish. You can always email me, james@sjumc.net, and let me know that you had some other thoughts. I welcome those. Otherwise, remember, you are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift you already are. Go and be pure of